In this release of PriceSquawk, we've incorporated two volume profile modes to listen to the tape in the context of the volume profile. By default, in the volume profile modes, as the profile thickens out, the sound of the tape gets louder, and as it thins out, the sound of the tape gets softer, or vice versa. The volume profile fixed mode lets you manually set different volume at price thresholds in order to change the volume of PriceSquawk trade sounds at specific profile thicknesses. For instance, after resetting the profile, you may want to be alerted when it has built to a certain thickness that indicates new buying or selling has entered the market. I find this useful as I've always been pretty poor at keeping track of how much volume is trading at new prices. By resetting the profile when I feel a new market swing is underway, I can hear if a significant amount of new volume is traded across just a few prices. So if I'm being lazy, for instance, and not watching the screens, I can take interest and focus on the DOMs, or if I am too focused on the prints and the DOM, I can keep track on how much is actually trading at these prices based on the alerts I hear. This makes it more or less a volume profile alert tool when I use PriceSquawk like this. The other volume profile mode is called volume profile relative mode. And similarly to volume profile fixed, it lets you hear changes in the volume profile, though volume profile relative automatically sets your different minimum, middle and maximum levels for you relative to the maximum profile thickness. By default, this means that you will hear trade sounds increase in loudness as they approach the current volume point of control, and then they will reach their maximum trade sound volume when the profile is filling out to a new thickness. So once the profile is filled out at least once, you can then identify if the market is trading in a thin profile area or a thick profile area just through listening. As the profile is easy to take a quick glance at, this comes in more useful if you are trying to keep tabs on the market in the background. You can customize how the maximum, middle and minimum values are calculated relative to the maximum profile thickness by changing the multiplication values used from the PriceSquawk user options. For example, a minimum setting of 0.25 here will filter out all trade sounds that occur at prices where the volume profile is a quarter the thickness of the maximum profile thickness. You can use these multiplier values with multiple PriceSquawks to map unique trade sounds to different profile thicknesses, instead of relying on the loudness of trade sounds. To do this, you need to open two PriceSquawks for the same instrument in one of the volume profile modes, and reset the profile at the same time by using a hotkey. The volume sliders here are often overlooked, but can be used as a filter for various trade sounds and various tape conditions. By moving the minimum volume slider all the way to the right, for instance, and the middle and max sliders to the left, you're going to play trade sounds at full volume when the profile is between the minimum and middle values you see here. In the second PriceSquawk, do the opposite and drag the minimum volume slider all the way to the left and the middle and maximum sliders all the way to the right. Now you will only hear trade sounds when the volume profile is above your middle setting here. Now if you set your bid and ask sounds identical on each PriceSquawk, you'll clearly hear different alert sounds when the step in the profile is broken. It may sound complicated, but it's actually very simple to do, and you can save this setup as a PriceSquawk setting so you only have to do it once. Using PriceSquawk in this way, you can stay tuned into the speed of the tape at different profile thicknesses, and this should give you a pretty good feel for how excited the market is within different areas of the profile. You could go one step further even and use the Jigsaw Recon tape to filter out only larger orders that contribute to the PriceSquawk profile, and this could have its advantages and give you some unique insights too. To make the PriceSquawk profile easier to manage, a sessions setting has been built into this release. This allows you to enter times at which you want the volume profile to automatically reset in PriceSquawk. By default, an alert will also play at the times you enter here. The times are based off your local computer time and will reset the volume profile, recenter your PriceSquawk ladder view, and recenter the pitch of your trade sounds at the same time. You can use these session times to alert you for numbers as well. For instance, I now like to have a separate PriceSquawk specifically used for number releases. I enter times I want an alert to play to remind me to be out of the market before a number release. You can take this one step further and use multiple PriceSquawks configured with different alert sounds to create a whole range of different time alerts. This new release also contains some important performance improvements that are worth upgrading for. So please upgrade now by checking your email for the update, or you can sign up for a trial to receive the installation instructions for the latest version. Please contact me via the contact page if you have any questions on this release or any questions on what I've discussed here. Thank you.